Hello guys and welcome to Base Watches. In the realm of automatic watches, Swiss manufacturers often dominate the conversation. This is hardly surprising considering Switzerland is the epicenter of watchmaking, home to some of the finest movements in the industry. Reviewing my past experiences, I'd estimate that over 80% of the watches I've covered are Swiss-made, with many more utilizing Swiss movements. This trend is also common among German watches. Yet German engineering is renowned worldwide, and for good reason. Germany has given us BMW, Mercedes-Benz, and some of the world's greatest scientific minds. Therefore, it's no shock that Germany also produces a significant number of high-quality watches. Today, we'll explore 5 exceptional German timepieces, each priced around $1,000. While each of these watches is an excellent choice, they all bring a unique aesthetic to the table. Let's take a closer look. The Stowa Flieger Classic 36 Automatic is crafted from stainless steel with a 36 mm diameter that lends it a relatively minimalist wrist present while still being large enough to read. It's 10.2 mm thick, which is about average for such a small watch, but it's still lightweight and comfortable to wear. The bezel is raised at a sharp angle with a flat, glare-resistant sapphire crystal both on the front and the back of the watch. The hour and minute hands are spearhead-shaped with green lume stripes down the center, and the second hand is slender and straight with a similar lume finish. The black dial is relatively Spartan with no complications other than a small date window at the 6 o'clock position. The index has small hashes at the 1-minute marks with fatter hashes at the 5-minute marks. There are also numerals at all positions, save for the 6 and 12 o'clock position. At the 12 o'clock position there's a wide arrow, while the 6 o'clock position is occupied by the aforementioned date window. The movement is an ETA 2824, which will be familiar to most aficionados of fine watchmaking. The Flieger Classic is water-resistant to 50 meters, so it's sufficient for showering and splashing, but not for continuous immersion. The watch is fastened with a brown leather strap with steel rivets near the lugs for reinforcement and adornment. The Stowa Partitio is a stainless steel watch that measures 37 mm in diameter. This provides a medium wrist presence, as does the 10.2 mm thickness. The thickness allows for enough space for the Swiss automatic movement without being excessive. The Partitio has a narrow, rounded bezel, which maximizes the diameter to allow for a large, high-visibility dial. The dial itself is a flat black with no complications and few adornments. The only thing that interrupts the clean look is an elegant Stowa logotype. Both the hour and the minute hands are broad, with lume striping for easy night visibility. They taper towards the ends, adding to the Partitio's elegant appearance. There are large 1 to 12 numerals at each hour position, located just inside of the index. On the index, there are ultra-fine hashes at the 12-second marks, with larger hashes at the single-minute marks, and small numerals at the 5-minute positions. Those tiny hashes are hard to see without a magnifying glass, but they're a nice adornment on an otherwise plain dial. The movement is a Swiss automatic and is accurate to within a few seconds a day. It's available in 2 variants. One is hand-winding, while the other is not. For my money, I'd choose the hand-winding version, if only because it allows for more options. That said, either one is a perfectly viable, functional choice. The Partitio is rated for 50 meters of water resistance, which is splash-resistant but not recommended for extended periods of swimming. It does have a screw-down crown, which is typical of a sub-100-meter watch, but keeps the crown from getting snagged by mistake. And the glossy black leather band is minimalist, but easy on the eyes. The Junghans Maxbill Chronoscope is a wide 40 mm watch with a stainless steel case. It has a very narrow bezel which lends it even more wrist presence than your typical 40 mm watch. It's also unusually thick for its size at 14.4 mm. This is mostly due to the acrylic crystal, which has a very tall dome. It distorts the dial considerably unless you look at it head-on, which adds to the overall aesthetic. The caliber J880.2 movement is fairly pedestrian. It's based on the earlier Veljoux 7750 chronograph, so it's not the most accurate, although it does have a 48-hour power reserve. That said, it's unusually loud. Personally, I'm not a big fan of very loud movements, as they can attract unwanted attention if you're in a meeting or another setting where you're expected to be quiet. That said, if you like to hear your watch tick, there's a lot to like here. The Maxbill Chronoscope is not water-resistant. Don't get me wrong, it's a great timepiece and a strong fashion statement. You just don't want to take it into the shower or out swimming. It comes with a brown leather strap, which has decorative stitching around the outer edge. The Sinn 556 ED is a workmanlike watch with a 38.5mm stainless steel case that has an understated brushed finish. It's 11mm in thickness, which allows for a proportional look and a clean medium wrist presence. It has a sapphire display case back, so you can see the movement clearly if you so desire. The primary crystal is also sapphire with an anti-reflective coating on both the front and the back. The dial is flat black with a white Sinn logo as the only adornment. There's also a date window at the 4:30 position, but it's so small that it's almost impossible to read. The index consists of bold white hashes with fat, bright hashes at the 5-minute marks and large numerals at the 3, 6, 9 and 12 o'clock positions. The hands are also white with broad, sharp hour and minute hands and a narrower second hand. The movement is a caliber SW200 automatic, which has a frequency of 28,800 beats per hour. Dies ist a fairly brisk pace, but it's about standard for automatic movements. With 26 joules, it's fairly accurate, and when you need to set it, it's easy to get back on track. It allows for hacking, so the second hand will stop ticking when the crown is pulled all the way out. The 556 offers the best water resistance of any of these German watches. It's rated for 200 meters of depth, more than enough for swimming or even diving. If you're an aquatic enthusiast, you should take a closer look at this timepiece. It also has a tri-link satin steel band, which is comfortable, flexible, and secure. The Damasco DA34 has a unique ice-hardened stainless steel case, which has an unusual finish that strikes a balance between a polished and brushed finish. It has a screwed-in case back, which allows for easy maintenance and tuning, should you so desire. The bezel is completely flat, and the crystal has a concave curve, which doesn't distort the dial, but which definitely looks unique. The overall dimensions are 40mm in diameter and 10mm in thickness, providing a medium-sized wrist presence. The glossy black dial is fairly plain, although there's a day and date window at the 3 o'clock position. The minute and second hands are a bold white with a spurt-up shape that gives them a sharp, high-contrast appearance. The second hand is a bright red and draws your eye as it flicks around the dial. Fine white hashes mark off individual minutes, with fatter hashes at the 5-minute marks. Double hashes accent the 15-minute positions, with a bold red double hash at 12 o'clock. The ETA 2836 Elubor movement is accurate to about 12 seconds a day and gives or takes some predictable variation. It also offers a 38-hour power reserve, enough to set it aside for a day without needing to reset it. The DA34 is water-resistant to 100 meters, which is sufficient for swimming, showering, and other everyday water contact. The crown is a screw-down, which means it won't get snagged and allows water infiltration. Dee's watch had a black leather band with red stitching that provides a sharp, highly visible accent on an otherwise understated piece.